Hello and welcome everyone to Let's Play Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. This is Algaris 115 speaking. No, do not trust everything you read, this is still the Philosopher's Stone, not the Sorcerer's Stone. And I will explain in a little while why the main menu says Sorcerers all of a sudden. I'm so happy you could join me. This is sort of a project I've been working for intensely over the last couple of weeks, ensuring that it will be ready for Christmas. And each day of December, from the 1st all the way to 24th, and perhaps with a little surprise on 25th, you will have a single episode to look forward to. And I hope you will join me and cozy up, snuggle in bed, sofa, armchair, wherever you're watching this video from, and join me essentially on what is a huge trip down not only nostalgia lane, but also there's something incredibly Christmassy about the first few Harry Potter games, and the same can be said about the books and movies in general. But for me, December will be a very difficult month. I will be going through tough surgery, not sure how that's gonna turn up, and I'm gonna have a lot of time to rest and recover afterwards and reflect. And I thought to myself, well, why not accompany that by going back to my roots? And Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was the first video game I tackled via a video walkthrough format 11 years ago, back in 2012. Now, this is gonna be something different. I don't want to just repeat what I did over and over. I don't see much point or value in that. But there are a couple of reasons why I decided to do that, other than Harry Potter being synonymous with Christmas for me. First of all, the video and sound quality of my videos has increased significantly since 11 years back. It was the very first video walkthrough I ever tackled, and I'm not entirely happy with its quality. Let's just put it like that. So you can look forward to a much higher quality. Secondly, and this will be purely for personal preference, I will be playing this as a Let's Play, meaning I will be playing and offering commentary as we go, similar to my Tomb Raider playthroughs. And to be honest, the first three Harry Potter games and Tomb Raider games share a lot of the same DNA. They're essentially like Tomb Raider games for younger kids, if that makes sense. Incredibly enjoyable to 100%. So commentary will be here, but in case you do prefer them without, please check out my playthrough from 2012. You will have no commentary ruining your atmosphere there. But if you do enjoy my commentary from other games, you're more than welcome to stay. Now, the twists don't end here, because I am running this game with the support of three very important mods. First of all, DirectX 11 renderer. This will make the game look better. Now, not significantly different, and this is still important that the same atmosphere is still maintained. I'm not talking about hyper-realistic lighting or shadows, I'm talking about more along the lines of warmer colors, reflective surfaces, darker shadows, that sort of thing. And you'll be the judge for yourselves if you prefer it this way or not. I absolutely do. Along with the DirectX 11 rendering, I have decided to apply a mod giving us an AI upscaled textures. Now, I was very, let's say, skeptic when I heard about this mod, until I tried it in practice, and it is absolutely glorious. Now, the author of the mod decided to upscale the main menu with the Sorcerer's Stone title, which is why you see it here and not the Philosopher's Stone one, right? Even though I'm running the game based on a European version, executable files. So that explains the main menu, and I'm curious what you'll say in the comments about the new sharper textures. I would say most significantly, they show up on the many portraits decorating the Hogwarts castle. And finally, and probably the biggest twist of them all, is a complete update of the control scheme. There's something amazing about playing through the Philosopher's Stone and then switching to Chamber of Secrets. And I'm mostly talking about the fact that Harry can run and cast spells at the same time. This is such a degree of freedom that they maintained for the Prisoner of Azkaban game as well. And you know what? I thought to myself, why not put that into the first game already and see how that shakes things up? And luckily, someone has already created the mod. All the mods I'm talking about here, I will add links into the description. I will add links into the description also for two amazing YouTube videos discussing how you can upscale the game, make it run on modern Windows, and how to apply a couple of widescreen mods and patches. And also I'm gonna add a link to my original playthrough without commentary if that's something you prefer. So, with that in mind, I want to add yet another twist. I will be releasing one episode for every day of December, as I said, all the way up until Christmas. However, during that time, I am going to decorate a little paper Christmas tree using a symbol, and I'd like you to let me know in the comments why you think a certain symbol matches the given episode released on the day. I'm just curious to hear your conspiracy theories, why that might be the case. Now, starting with the very first one, I think it's going to be fairly obvious, but the others, perhaps not so much. Now, before we dive in, just for full transparency, let me show you the options screen. This is the resolution I'm running the game on, the color bits. Feel free to pause here and check it. What I really want to draw your attention to is the WSAD control scheme and jumping and casting using the right or left mouse button. This was the case in the original game, however, it was incredibly clumsy, and that has changed completely with the mod I'm currently running, as you will see it in practice. By the way, the speed up and slow down keys are assigned to right mouse button and left mouse button respectively. So, this is the mouse speed I recommend, and these are the volume levels I am using so that you can still hear the game and also my voice. And for those of you who are more familiar with the PS1 version of the game, you might prefer to use the auto jump, because that's essentially the main gist of the PS1 game. I honestly cannot stand auto jumps, so I have disabled it, just so we have that additional degree of control over Harry, and I also prefer using invert broom controls. Now, one thing I haven't really talked about, since I haven't talked at all in my original playthrough, is the Quidditch menu here. First of all, if you boot up the game for the first time, you will see two icons, Broomstick Practice and Quidditch League. Both will be hidden behind a lock. You need to reach certain two specific points in the main story campaign before each will unlock respectively. You will just have to wait. I'm gonna highlight it in given episode. We're gonna focus on the Broomstick Practice very soon, and we're gonna be focusing on the Quidditch League pretty much just before we wrap up the final few levels in Hogwarts, because I feel it's most story appropriate. So, saying that, let's dive right in. You will already see a couple of finished games, because let's just say I practiced a lot and took a lot of notes when preparing for this run. And with that in mind, let us dive into the magical world of Harry Potter via the intro cutscene.
There was nothing about the starry sky that night to suggest that strange and mysterious things would soon be happening. As unsuspecting muggles slept, a huge motorbike with a giant astride it tumbled down from the darkness. The giant, named Hagrid, left a blanket-wrapped bundle on the doorstep of number 4 Privet Drive. Nestled in the bundle was a baby. Harry Potter, the boy who lived. For the next 11 years, Harry lived with his dreadful step-parents, the Dursleys. Until that fateful day when he received the letter inviting him to attend Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Hagrid took Harry to Diagon Alley to purchase a most unusual list of school supplies. While at Gringotts Wizard Bank, Hagrid collected a scruffy package from Vault 713, mentioning to Harry that the package, whatever it was, would be safer at Hogwarts. Soon after, Harry caught the Hogwarts Express from platform 9 3/4 and left the Muggle world far behind. Dumbledore stood up. This term, the corridor on the 3rd floor is out of bounds to everyone who does not wish to suffer a most painful death. Harry sat beneath a sorting hat, hoping that he would not be chosen for Slytherin House over Gryffindor. "Not Slytherin, eh?" said the hat in his ear. "You could be great. It's all here in your head, and Slytherin will help you on your way to greatness." "No? Well, if you're sure, better be Gryffindor."
Hogwarts main entrance. Attend Defense Against the Dark Arts class with Professor Quirrell, located on the 3rd floor. Find one secret wizard card. You know what? This isn't quite cutting it. Much better. So again, Hogwarts main entrance, attend Defense Against the Dark Arts class with Professor Quirrell, located on the 3rd floor. Find 29 beans, 1 chocolate frog, 1 wizard card, earn 50 house points, and encounter 1 enemy. I hope you like these new loading screens. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
Welcome to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. I am Albus Dumbledore, your headmaster. Now, Hogwarts is full of secrets, Harry, so search behind every door. But keep in mind, not all secrets are rewarding. Only this morning, I took a wrong turn and stumbled upon a room full of chocolate frogs. But alas, when I returned, they'd been replaced by a nasty horde of fire crabs. Now, up the stairs and off to your lessons. Don't be late.
You know, me and my brother, we used to compete in who would be the champion of imitating Dumbledore's voice.
Now, up those stairs and off to your lessons. Don't be late.
Yeah, I was the champion. I'm not saying this was good, but out of the 2 people who participated in the championship, I was the better one. So, here's a really interesting thing. You can absolutely bump into any NPC you see for additional information. Sometimes it repeats, sometimes it's randomly generated, sometimes they have specific lines they will say in order, like Dumbledore over here.
Your first lesson is upstairs on the 3rd floor, Mr. Potter. Off you go. Off you trot, Harry. You'll never know where these corridors lead unless you explore them.
He's right. I mean, he's essentially trying to encourage us to explore every nook and cranny, but keep in mind, we can die. He's a very kind headmaster. Now, I want to draw your attention to something in case you've never played the game before, and that is the so-called report card. So this lovely hand-painted menu tells you everything you need to know about your progression. First of all, on the top left, we see all the number of collected Bertie Bott's every flavor beans. Now, if I'm not entirely mistaken, there should be... If we find every single bean, we are gonna end up with 571 of them. And that's already after giving over 100 to a couple of interesting characters. Then there are 25 collectible wizard cards. You can click on the icon where you can see Dumbledore, or what I prefer, click on the Folio Magi over here. The effect and the sound, there's something so satisfying about it. Now, 1 out of 7 pages, the first 6 pages have 4 cards each. The one you see in the middle, that's just going to be the preview of the one you select. It's not an extra card slot or anything like that. But the 7th page has a mystery. To unlock this secret wizard card, collect 24 wizard cards and 250 Bertie Bott's beans. Then defeat He Who Must Not Be Named. Yeah, they are not very subtle with spoilers in this regard. But, yeah, so the requirements are essentially find every other card and have at least 250 beans. The beans requirement is not difficult at all. You would have to purposefully skip certain beans, and then defeat He Who Must Not Be Named essentially means completing the game. After you complete it, and if you also collect all 24 wizard cards, you're gonna get an opportunity to look through your Folio Magi again at the very end with the new unlocked card, which is actually gonna be given to Harry as part of a cutscene. I always thought that's really cool. And finally, on the top right here, we have the house point symbol, which seems kind of obsolete since we can see the house points numbers for all 4 houses. But I guess it's just in case we forget which house we're in, I'm not really sure. So, we are Gryffindor, as per the Sorting Hat's instructions. They did a fairly good job recreating those scenes from the movie via static images, although the PS1 version had them in color. I don't know why the PC one had them just, beige like this. Nevertheless. As we start getting points, you will notice that the other houses get points as well, and there's going to be one particularly annoying trend we will see in terms of the other houses getting points. And then we can go back to the options menu, or quit the game if we so decide. Important thing that the game does not tell you, each time you see a loading screen with a parchment telling you what the level is, the game is saving, okay? This is something the game, not even the game manual say, but rest assured that if you make it to the next level, the game automatically saves, for better or for worse. Okay, enough talking about the menu, let me show you something. This is what I'm talking about, my friends. We can cast whilst moving, whilst jumping, and we can strafe left and right. Funnily enough, the strafing animations were already in the game. There were a couple of specific boss fights in the Philosopher's Stone PC release where Harry would strafe and then they would switch back to the tank control scheme. Here, it's all about strafing WASD, and it is perfect. It is just like Chamber of Secrets and Prisoner of Azkaban, okay? Now, one thing that this mod disables because of that is, if you approach a hollow suit of armor and try and cast your wand, nothing happens. In the original version, the suit of armor would shake around and flay if you were to use your wand close to it. It was pretty funny, but don't worry, we're gonna see that animation a bit later on whilst we'll be casting a certain spell. And just a good example of upscaled paintings. You can see that this guy apparently belongs to the House of Gryffindor, just like us, which I had no idea. Again, not sure if this is because of the upscale textures or me never paying attention, but there you have it. And across a couple of points, you can just barely make out the reflected surfaces. So this is what I'm talking about. The DirectX 11 renderer, so you can see Harry's mirror image on the wall to the right. It doesn't change the graphic style or the atmosphere, but the lighting and the reflective surfaces just give it that extra edge to modernize it. And don't even get me started on the resolution and field of view. Alright, up those stairs as Dumbledore said.
Hey Harry! Remember me? Ron Weasley? My brothers Fred and George have something to show you. Follow me!
To be honest, we do not really have a choice, right? The other path... Oh my god, the first ghost Harry has ever seen, and he's just completely calm about it. Yeah, the other path is locked, and funnily enough, we are gonna find ourselves in this specific area 5 times throughout the game, and every single time the area is gonna change somewhat. This is not laziness on the part of the developers, this is in fact something that was advertised on the box art cover, I believe as well, that the Hogwarts is ever changing. Anyway, I'm gonna talk more about the development process based on some interviews that I learned about later. First of all, a couple of more armors, nothing we can do about them, but it's a bit of a tease for later on in the game.
Follow me, Harry!
Yeah, just in case we got lost somehow, right? Anyway, let's follow Ron. I believe we should have met him on the Hogwarts Express, but here they pretend that we haven't. Fine, let's roll with it. And mind the statue over there. Right now, we cannot really cast any spell on it, but that's gonna change in the future.
Hello, Harry. We can show you how to get around Hogwarts. As a first year, you have a lot to learn. Follow us for a secret lesson.
I'll see you later in Defense Against the Dark Arts class. Good luck, Harry.
You know, this is where it starts. This is why we'll be late for every single lesson in the game. Because of nonsense like this.
We're going to teach you how to climb. Run to the bookcase and don't stop. You'll climb up. Above the bookcase is a Bertie Bott's Every Flavour bean. Collect all the beans you can find and meet us in the next room.
Yeah, Fred and George, perfect example of how the NPCs work in this game. Some of the lines repeat, some of them are unique. I'm essentially gonna show you both.
Above the bookcase is a Bertie Bott's Every Flavour bean. Collect all the beans you can find and meet us in the next room.
Just in case you forget what was said, you can bump into them and get another hint.
Climb up the bookcase, collect the beans, and meet us in the next room.
And what does George have to say about that?
We'll take a shortcut and meet you there.
Yeah, I thought as much.
Climb up the bookcase, collect the beans, and meet us in the next room.
And the final
Run
one.
to the bookcase and don't stop. You'll climb up.
Now, he is right. You don't actually, even with auto jump disabled, Harry will automatically climb these things. And you know what? When it comes to climbing, I don't mind, because there really is no skill involved. There we go. And based on the distance, Harry's animation will auto-adjust. Now, on the top right of the screen, you could see a symbol with 3 small beans. That symbol is actually gonna change the more beans you have, which I just find so incredibly cute. Oh, by the way, something I want to show you. Yeah, they did use a secret shortcut, but the devs didn't bother actually showing it. Instead, they run to the wall and disappear, which I always find funny. Anyway, the moment we pick up 4th bean, the symbol is gonna change. See? Now we see a symbol with 6 beans, somehow. Nevertheless, you're pretty much just gonna see this symbol for the rest of the game. That's essentially it. So, yeah. One thing I also want to show you is that when approaching a bookcase, you can use shorter animation by jumping first. See, this is different from this, and all because I jumped. And sometimes you can skip an animation entirely via jumping. This can save a lot of time. Now, this is not a speedrun or anything like that, although there are some wicked speedrunners out there of these games, but I just wanted to get this out of the way to help you speed things up along. This was not possible without the free movement mod.
Well done. Now, let's try jumping. Run to the ledge, then press the jump button to jump across. If you fall down, you can climb back up and start over. Meet us in the next room. We'll take the shortcut and meet you there.
Okay, and sometimes you get these prompts at the top of the screen showing you what the control scheme is like, which is nice, I guess.
Jump across the bookcases, Harry. Come on, you can do it. You can change the jump button from the menu.
Okay, that's actually useful advice, absolutely.
If you fall down, you can climb back up and start over.
What they don't explain is how you can climb back up, but don't worry, I'm gonna show you.
We'll use the secret shortcut and meet you there.
Yeah, like before, huh? But in this case, it's actually gonna be shown nicely, and Fred has no new insights to offer. Now again, if you had the auto jump on, this would happen, but I pressed the right mouse button as the jump key, right? Now, I have added additional challenge to myself, and that is that the entire playthrough, this entire campaign, we will take no damage. Oops, wrong direction. Oh my god! Damage? God damn it, Beeves! Here we go. God damn it. Especially since these things have a habit of getting in the way. You know what? Let's see how this will turn out. Nice! Okay.
That's Peeves, the poltergeist. He's always causing trouble. Peeves doesn't like first years, so watch your step.
Okay, first of all, by making the diagonal jump, we avoided taking damage. Otherwise, it's incredibly difficult. I love how Fred and George just lure us into a room with the dangerous poltergeist and then just ran away. Thank you so much, friends. I'm gonna show you roughly where they escaped to. So, in case you were to fall down because Peeves the poltergeist hit you, or really any other reason, you can just use these stairs where Fred and George headed to, although they use some secret shortcut. By that, let's assume they just disappeared and appeared elsewhere to get back up, okay? Now I just want to show you places like these, just so we explore this first video game iteration of Hogwarts thoroughly. Okay. Now it's odd because... Okay, we can barely hear him. Peeves makes all these insults and throws them in Harry's direction. Everyone says you belong in a zoo. I absolutely love this. It's hilarious. Okay. I mean, I'd poop my pants if I was to see this guy floating around me in real life, but you know what I mean. And he just does this infinity symbol around these two bookcases. Not much of a threat. So yeah, this was our first enemy encounter. We cannot really do anything against him. Later on, we'll be able to get a revenge. But for now, we just need to outrun this guy. Anyway, great introduction to the game's mechanics.
You're getting the hang of this. In Hogwarts, you'll find all sorts of wicked treats. To pick up a treat, just run over to it. Chocolate frogs boost your energy. 30 bots every flavour beans are fun to collect. We're collecting them too. We need 25 beans, Harry. Come back when you've got them all. Come see us and we'll show you the way to class.
Okay, so essentially our quest is to find 25 even though we're surrounded by them. That shouldn't be too difficult. Now, before you have the 25 number, let's see what Fred has to say.
We're counting on you to help us get those beans. Looks like you still need a few more beans. Keep looking, Harry. We need 25 beans, Harry. Come back when you've got them all. Those beans are hard to find. Look everywhere for them.
Yeah, that's essentially the gist of it. So, these ones behind the columns are really the only ones not immediately in the visible range. By the way, I just want to appreciate the reflection of the green bean on the marble surface. This is what I'm talking about. I can't recommend this DirectX 11 mod enough. it's really just as I remember it, but better. They really managed to strike a great balance between the new and the old. Now that we have 25 beans, guess what? We're gonna lose all of them.
Talk to Fred. He's the one with the wizard card.
In other words, he's the only important person.
Thanks, Harry. We couldn't have done it without you.
And we're at 0.
We need the beans for some experiments. Here's a wizard card for you. You've earned it. Climb through the secret exit above the bookcases to get to your first spell lesson. Good luck.
Okay, so they did foreshadow some experiments, and I'm happy to say they don't leave that to imagination. We're gonna see exactly what they need those beans for. But we'll have to be very patient for that. Now, at the top of the screen you've seen a couple of tooltips. You can, again, we clicked on Folio Magi button here. This time let's click on the card icon, just to show it works. And we have our first collectible wizard card, Albus Dumbledore, unknown to present, current headmaster at Hogwarts, considered the greatest wizard of modern times. You know what, Stephen Fry, I'm gonna let you do the talking.
Dumbledore, headmaster of Hogwarts.
Thank you, Stephen. Your voice is so incredibly soothing. I cannot get enough of it. Okay, so we have our first card. There's literally 23 more for us to collect, either from Fred and George or find them in the world. And by the way, the default loading screens of every single map and level tell you if there are some secret areas or wizard cards. What they do not tell you is how many chocolate frogs, beans or other goodies you will find, neither what is a secret. It's kind of up to your own interpretation, which is a huge pain point I'm having with this guide, but later about that. George has some additional information to give us.
You'd better get going, or you'll be late for your first lesson.
Oh, well, I wonder why I'll be late.
Climb through the secret exit above the bookcases to get to your first spell lesson. Good luck! Thanks for helping us out, Harry.
Yeah, no worries, you can hold me a hostage and not let me join a lesson some other time too. Okay, so, mind the 4 beans around here. Again, we are after every single bean in the game. This is important, and it's gonna make us collecting the final bean all the more dramatic. And trust me, the final bean is actually dramatically placed by the developers. Chocolate frogs. So, different chocolate frogs, well, they're not always consistent in how much energy they replenish. I believe there are also chocolate frogs which have this golden gleam coming from them, and they replenish far more than your ordinary ones. But it's not really gonna matter to us because we're never gonna take damage. Maybe in the Quidditch League, but that's not part of the main campaign, so that should be fine. So yeah, nevertheless, I'm gonna consume all chocolate frogs in the game. You have my solemn oath, that's exactly what's gonna happen because they are absolutely delicious. Ah, there we go. And we get rid of the annoying ribbit noise. Okay, so through the sacred entrance, and then we encounter essentially the main villain of the game.
Well, 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 if it isn't the famous Harry Potter. I'm Draco Malfoy, and you do well to show me respect. These are my fellow Slytherins, Crabbe and Goyle. Naturally, we Slytherins are going to win the House Cup and the Quidditch Cup. You better stay out of our way, Potter! Let's go, boys!
I'm sorry, I've seen Crabbe and Goyle parodied so many times, I can't even look at them and have a serious face. Nevertheless, that was a lovely introduction of the villain, less brutal than in the PS1 version where Malfoy taunts Harry about having a dead mother, which I found really, really dark. Nevertheless, let's go see what this guy's up to.
Move along, Potter. Keep away from this corridor if you know what's good for you.
I love the subtitles saying herb show. And this is essentially it, and...
No one gets past Argus Filch and makes a fool of him.
Oh, interesting.
What's that?
Hey, these lines are very familiar.
Move along, Potter. Keep away from this corridor if you know what's good for you.
Okay, a good example of how then the lines are recycled over and over, but I just wanted to show you that. Some of the lines he's gonna say later to us in the adventure in what are essentially horror levels of this game. Anyway, let's bump into another friend.
Hello, Harry. It's me, Hermione Granger. We met on the Hogwarts Express, remember? Defense against the dark arts is through this door. Follow me.
Oh no. Oh no. I know what we're getting ourselves into. Spells learning. Okay, Zolgaris, take it easy. Breathe. Here's the thing. We're gonna have to draw a pattern 4 times, and at least one of those 4 times I want to do it perfectly, 100%, so we hear a special praise from our professor. Wish me luck, I'll need it. In case I'll fail, I'll just repeat the whole level up to this point.
I am Professor Quirrell. Today we'll learn how to protect ourselves against dark magic with the Flipendo spell.
Oh, before we start, just wanted to show you something. Every single house has 0 house points. Then observe what happens later on.
Watch my wand. Then hold down the mouse button and repeat the pattern. Release the button when you're done.
Sounds easy when you say it like that. I'm sure the fact that I'm also recording does not help my accuracy. Oh shoot. Please be 100%. Pretty, please. Oh no, I heard a sound skip. Ah! No way, I'm not giving up.
An outstanding effort, Mr. Potter. 5 points for Gryffindor.
No, I want to hear perfect spell, not outstanding effort. God damn it. Okay, so, important thing to note here. We have received 5 points for Gryffindor. Literally, the time we took to blink, Slytherin got 7. Hufflepuff, being the weakest house, well, portrayed as the weakest house. By the way, it's my house, so I feel for you guys. Only received 3, Ravenclaw 4, and Slytherin 7. Now, this is a trend we'll see throughout the game. On a couple of occasions, I've seen Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw, you know, competing over the 3rd spot, but ultimately it's always going to be Slytherin at the top, Gryffindor at the 2nd. Although potentially, if we were not to use every opportunity to get the highest possible number of points, perhaps Ravenclaw or Hufflepuff could even top us, but I don't actually think so. I think there's an algorithm which says Slytherin 1st, Gryffindor 2nd. And that is unfortunately due to narrative reasons, but they have essentially made an entire mechanic in the game for the narrative reasons obsolete. So, you know, maybe this is a cool element of surprise for first-time players who are not familiar with the story from the books or the movie. I don't know, let me know in case this is the first time you experience Harry Potter franchise, and for you this was kind of incredible. For me this was always very frustrating.
Try again, Mr. Potter.
Not only will I try, I'll do perfect run. Shoot. I just looked at the clock, started to get nervous. We did it! How? It's a worse shape than the one before.
Remarkable, Mr. Potter.
Oof.
A perfect spell.
Thank you.
10.
Okay, that's all I wanted to hear. Now look at the hourglasses. We got 10 points, and Slytherin, those sniveling little bitches, got 19. I'm sorry if you're a Slytherin. I don't wanna insult you. I actually feel for Slytherin. They're bullied by every other house. Okay, now my objective is just to make it to receive points. I'm happy to have gotten 100 at least once. Hey, that could be another 100. Oh, that's the best one so far. Yes! Haha!
Remarkable.
The boy who 100%ed Flipendo twice in a row. That's who Harry Potter is.
15 points for
Let's grab the 3rd one. Okay, 15 points. Slytherin at 38 now, whilst we're at 30. See, this is what I'm talking about.
Try working faster this time, Mr. Potter.
Now we do need at least 95 to pass the lesson and get the maximum number of points. My god, why am I talking when doing this? It's stressful. That should be 95, come on. Wow, that is impressive.
Remarkable, Mr. Potter. A perfect spell. 20 points for Gryffindor.
There we go. 99! What? Just calm down. You know, there was one point when I finished the game when, due to narrative reasons, we beat Slytherin by one single house point and got the house cap. I'm very curious how that's gonna turn out now, if we're still gonna get the house cap and at the end actually check and see we have less house points. I don't know what's gonna happen. But you see what I'm talking about? It's complete nonsense. Look how full the hourglass is. The others don't show a single grain. Anyway, thank you so much for being with me in the first episode. Again, you can look forward to these on every day of December to cheer you up, to help you cozy up, you know, whether you're celebrating Christmas or some other holiday. I hope this is going to be a pleasant experience for you to join me here. And even though at the time of me posting this and this being published on YouTube, I'll be recovering after surgery, I'm gonna be checking all your comments and see how you guys are liking it or not liking it, entirely up to you. So thank you for being with me, and the moment I will close this screen, Harry and he who can be named will be stepping forward into the next level. By the way, only once in my life have I managed to flipendo 100% 4 times in a row. I didn't quite make it here, it was 3 times and the first one was 99, but I'm still pretty damn proud of myself. Nevertheless, thank you so much for being with me, and I'll see you again this time tomorrow.
Splendid! You may now enter the Flipendo Challenge to practice the spell. Follow me, Mr. Potter.